Hello, and welcome to the Connecting Point. I am Dr. Marcy, your facilitator for this discussion today. This is the place where creators connect to inspire, share their ideas and stories to transform the world through raw and unedited talk. And boy, am I excited today because this person on the other side here, been knowing for some time, but you'll find out more about her in a moment. This is Mrs. Coriya Burns Falker. Yay, welcome to the Connecting Point, Coriya.
Thank you so much. I mean, we made it, right? Because we've been trying to do this for a minute. I'm so excited about being here.
We made it. And what she's talking about is she's been busy because we're both empty nesters. Like right about now, we have children the same age and they're off to college. And so we've been trying to adjust and get our minds right for that. Which leads me, Coriya, to the connecting point. We have a connecting point that goes all the way back to when our children, I think, were they 4 years old?
Easily 4.
I think 4 because they were in pre-K together. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, and you heard me say they're now in college. So that gives you an idea of how long I have been knowing Coriya. And also her baby, who is a young man now, he took piano from me
yes,
for some time. Lord, she and I prayed and prayed.
Yes, we did.
He didn't want it. He didn't want it. No. But anyway, that is the Connecting Point audience. Mm-hmm. And like I said, this is Miss Coriya Burns Falker. And I'm going to let you tell the audience a little bit about who you are, where you're from, and where you are now, and what is it that you do?
Oh, wow. What don't I do? As a, if you're a mom, that's what you have to ask yourself, what don't I do? Well, let's see. By day, and I always say this, by day, my 9 to 5, I work for Urban One, formerly Radio One, and I am the general sales manager for Radio One Atlanta. We have 4 stations here in Atlanta: Praise 102.5, Classics 102.9, Magic 107.5, 97.5, the home of Steve Harvey Morning Show, and Hot 107.9. So that's what I do during my 9 to 5. I have been in radio. Let's see, this August was 27 years that I have been in radio. Yeah, been there quite a while. Have enjoyed it. Worked in sales for a very long time, but that's my 9 to 5. My passion and my purpose lies in my 5 to 9, as I say, and that is a gold digger coach and reboot specialist. What is that in detail? I help women.
Yes, you've got to tell us what that is.
Absolutely. I help women in particular, 35 to 54, with their goals, move the needle on their goals, but especially those goals that they left on the back burner years ago. Because as women, a lot of times we put our goals on the back burner. We, raise our families. We support our spouses. We start our own careers. But that thing that we're passionate about, that thing that's our purpose, sometimes we leave it behind. And my goal is to really help women reignite that and refresh that whole attitude, even if they failed or they thought they failed at it, to reignite that and help them get excited about their goals and their dreams again.
So now you have me kind of interested. What led you to even start this gold digger? I remember the purpose boards and all of that. But even before those, what made you think of women in particular?
So, I'll be honest, at first I thought, it was everybody. But in the end, when I really sat down, and when you talk about the faith, actually, this is my faith board that I'm redoing right now. And I'm taking all of my little pictures off and I'm redoing them right now. So a few years ago, I went on a girls' trip with some friends and they wanted to do vision boards. I had never done vision boards before. This was probably about 10 or 11 years ago. And I just thought, we are going to this beautiful resort. I don't want to do an arts and crafts project. I want to go to the spa. I want to enjoy this nice resort. But Dr. Marcy, what happened is we did these vision boards and we prayed over them. When they were all done, we put them on the table and we prayed over these visions, and one after another, I saw them manifest. I saw God doing what God does. Mm-hmm. And I remember sitting at home one day looking at this board that I really hadn't put a lot of thought into. I got to be honest. And I remember sitting in my living room thinking, now, Coriya, what if you had asked God about this board first? What before you start gluing these pretty pictures to this board, you had consulted God about what it is that He wanted for you? And immediately God gave me faith board. I said, it's not a vision board. Wow. It's a faith board. So I started faith board. I did the very first event in my living room at home. And I did that for years. And then, stepped out on faith, and it grew and it grew and it grew. And then God, He really said to me, He said, it's bigger than this. And I said, what do you mean? And a young lady said, can you coach my life? I said, oh, no, I can't do that. What are you talking about? No, that's not what I do. And very clearly, again, God said, why not? I said, well, I'm not trained in this, and I haven't been to school for this. And it wasn't even about that. I have been coaching and training women all these years without really knowing it. And so that's really how Faith Board was born.
That's amazing. Because, as women, like you said, sometimes we put things on the back burner and we're not thinking that we have goals and aspirations as well, because our families sometimes take precedence over what we really want to do. I'll never forget some years ago, some of my early years of teaching, I was talking with an administrator at a school, and I remember her saying to me, my mom never got to do what she wanted to do because she raised all of us and she had many siblings. And she said, I watched my mother. She had a degree in the field that she wanted to go into, but she didn't do it because she was raising children and taking care of her husband. Mm-hmm. And I thought, Lord, I don't ever want to be in that situation where I did not follow through on what you've called me to do in the earth. And we all have something that we are called to do.
Yes.
Which I know that you are talking about when you're talking about this faith board and what are we doing? What is faith? Let's talk about that, because I know sometimes, Coriya, we assume that people know our lingo.
True.
But they may not. So let's talk a little bit about that first. What is faith?
Sure. Now, we know the word says that it's the substance of things hoped for, but when you really think about that and take it a little bit further, what does that mean? For me, Dr. Marcy, it means it's the groundwork and the foundation that I stand on when I pray and God tells me something that's so outrageous, like this faith board situation, or like writing, the book that God told me to write in the middle of a pandemic. It's having that type of groundwork and foundation to step even when we can't see the road, when we can't see the pavement, when we can't see what's in front of us. There have been many times, God has given me a directive and I'm like, but how is this going to happen? But you have the faith that it's not about testing God. That's not, I want to be very clear, but it's about being honest with yourself and saying, I heard what you said. I don't know how, but I've gotten to the point, even Dr. Marcy, where I'm glad I don't know how. If that makes sense. Because if I did,
it may scare you.
Exactly. And then why would I need God? So I've just gotten to the point where, okay, I'm going on another adventure. Here's my faith adventure that I'm going on. And you just put one foot in front of the other.
And
Absolutely.
you know, listening to you talk, I just told a coworker today, actually. I said, you know, I'm finally at a place in my life that I trust God with everything. You know, and I don't think twice about it. You know, and I have not always been there. You know,
Absolutely.
there have been times where you know, you feel that doubt coming in. Is this really going to be? Am I really supposed to do this or what? Now I am so grounded in trusting of God that I'm okay with however He tells me to move. I'm okay with making change. I'll make a change midstream
That's right.
if He
Absolutely.
tells me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like you starting a platform, I was like, no, that's not me. But then God shifted that up and shifted, He keeps shifting and shifting. I said, okay, He knows the plans He has for me. He knows the plans He has for you and all listeners. He knows the plans that He has for us.
Yes, absolutely.
So we have to follow those plans, which leads to gold digger. You got to play on words. We didn't say
Absolutely.
gold digger. We say gold digger. Now, Coriya, you got to explain that now.
So,
Gold digger.
gold digger, GOAL, not GOLD.
Right, right.
Yeah. So as I started to help individual women, I really got to the point where I was like, okay, what am I really doing? Yes, we have these faith boards, and that is something physical, but what am I really doing? And I was having a session with a lady one day, and she said, "You're just gonna keep digging." And I said, "Yeah, I am." She said, "You're just gonna keep digging until you get to what you want." Yeah, I am, because as you probably as an educator too know, ask the question, and why, and what led you to that, and you have the continuation.
Probe.
Yes, until you get to where it is you need to be, because you ask me, what do you want to do? Oh, I don't know. But then you have to keep digging, and you have to get them to uncover some things, and you have to get them to think back, and move take the blinders off, so to speak. And when she said that, I really thought about it. I said, we gold digging. That's what we're doing. We digging for these goals. So that's really where the terminology came from, and the gold digger coach. And then also, like I said, reboot specialists, helping women to reboot themselves, because sometimes we just need a fresh start.
Yeah.
We need a fresh mindset. And you said it just a few minutes ago. I don't mind. I will take my whole list and just wipe it clean and start over if I feel like that's what I need to do.
Mm-hmm. So, Coriya, can you begin to give women, or I'm not going to even say women on this platform, because I do know, I know your platform, your target would be women. However, I do know there are men out there and young people who listen in that also have goals that they got to dig out. So, can you kind of give them a starter, like for how to even approach this?
Absolutely. And you're right. And I do have one male client right now who just would not leave me alone. And that's not a bad thing. And I told him I target women, but absolutely, I'll definitely take you on as well. So he just started his 8-week journey with me as well. But the thing that I tell them to do, besides pray, because we're gonna make sure that we pray before we do anything, is to think big and start small. Because more times than not, I see people get off track because they have these grandiose dreams. And that's it. You got this big dream, I want to write a book. And they just keep saying, I want to write a book, and I want to write a book. Okay, how are you going to do that? I don't know. Well, you got to have a plan.
You gotta have a plan.
Right. You have to have a plan. So you have to think think big and start small. So with, with all of the people that I coach, we start out with, a main or a main goal list. And then we have a monthly calendar. And then each and every week we have our top 3. So every time I'm checking in with them, I'm asking them, what's your top 3 for the week? So when I say think big and start small, that means just that. You have to take these goals, take the big one, and break it down into something that you can accomplish over several months. And then each month you have to decide what task can you tackle that's going to help you get to that goal. The problem is a lot of times you look at their top 3 for the week and it has absolutely nothing to do with the book. Right. And I'm like, wait a minute. How does that tie back, to your main goal? So keeping them in line to get that done. So think big and start small.
You know what? I gotta stop you because I've been teaching that to my children at school. A song, I might as well think big. You know what? God is funny to me. How he's
wow.
Yes, I have been teaching my babies at school. I might as well think big if I'm going to think at all.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I might as well
love it.
Yes. And so I'm thinking about what you said. There is a plan that I use with my students, and I think it works with anybody. It works with me. When you're doing things or you're getting ready to start this venture or start a business or you have a goal, it could be something as small as cooking a meal, but there is a cycle that I use in my class with my students, and it works for everyone. And the first one is plan.
Yes.
Plan.
Yes.
And in order to plan, you've got to imagine.
Yes. Absolutely.
You have to be able to picture it in your mind. What is this I'm trying to do?
Yes, absolutely.
Plan.
And it's funny you said that because I've got my book open up to the page where it says, let's start with the end in mind.
Ah. So yeah, I tell you, God is funny to me. Go ahead and explain that, Coriya.
So, I take everybody through this process of writing a letter to themselves, a congratulations letter to themselves, so that at the end of whatever it is that we're trying to accomplish, they've already written out their speech, so to speak, their award speech or whatever it is. So I'll just read you a little bit of mine. Okay. It says, Coriya, after months of procrastination, because sometimes I get that bug too, not practicing what you preach and making numerous to-do lists, you broke through and got it done. You're a 2-time author. You have a healthy and wealthy coaching roster, and you are debt-free. Thanks for not giving up. That is my letter to myself. To yourself. Yes, to myself, that I wrote not too long ago. And I'm happy to say that I've at least 2 out of the 3 are already done. So I'm really excited about that. And I go back and I do read this letter to myself, Coriya, after months of procrastination, because I got so caught up in my business that I really did put my goals to the side. I was like, wait a minute, this is not how it's supposed to work. So I had to go back and remind myself of what I, tell everyone else to do.
And then that also goes back to writing the vision and making it plain. Because you just said 2 out of the 3 are done, right?
Yes.
So that meant you wrote it down and you visualize it and you speak it. You speak it.
Yes.
And so that is also a hint step to this goal digging, I'm sure, is to write it down.
Yes.
Write it down. That will help you plan things. Even if you don't look at it.
Yes.
A lot.
Absolutely.
You can write it down. Yeah. Okay, so Coriya, we have written it down, we're imagining it, and then we hit a roadblock. Something happens. Maybe We have children that go to college, let's say, and we got to stop working on this and get ready for that. Or someone falls ill in the family and we have to deal with that. What do you suggest one does when a roadblock is there?
So one, in my book, I also talk about planning for distractions. And we absolutely have to plan for distractions. And pretty much no matter what it is you have going on in life, there's something that we can set to the side, whether it's social media, whether it's TV. It could be something that we really like to do, a recreational activity. And it doesn't mean that you will continue to operate at the same speed all the time. But each and every month, as we are writing out everything for the month, I tell people, fill in your responsibilities first. You can't go off and achieve your goals and your family go lacking. That's not the purpose. That's not what we're trying to do. That's not a good example for the kids and anybody else. But you fill in your responsibilities. Well, let's just be honest. Your responsibilities can easily change from month to month. It can. College, like you said, these different things. But when that happens, you fill in your responsibilities. And after that, you take a look at what's left. The month before, you may have been able to dedicate an hour every single night to whatever your goal was. This week, you may look at it and you say, you know what? I can only squeeze out 2 hours this week.
And that's fine. That's right.
And that's fine. Work with the 2 hours. You're still, what you do in 2 hours and what you still do and what you do in 8 hours, as long as it ties back to what you're trying to accomplish, you'll still get there. You will still get there. And don't look to the left or to the right wondering about, well, this person is doing this and they're further ahead of me. Distractions. That is a distraction.
And like you said, it is okay that you cannot devote the entire time that you plan to devote to something. And, you know, I think that it has a lot to do with some of the anxieties that people are feeling because they get stuck in this mode. I have to do it this way. I have to do it in this amount of time. But peace is the goal. That's the ultimate goal. So when you're making decisions that lend themselves to peace, then that eliminates the anxiety that you might have when you're setting goals or you have aspirations. So, Coriya, let me ask you this. How many women have you been able to move forward? Ooh, that's a loaded question. I'm gold digging, Coriya.
Oh my gosh. You know what? That's something I need to write down. I'm going to say, I mean, over the course of 7 years, if I had no less than 20, but then I've had years where I had 75 people in the room. Now, everybody is not going to, move the needle, but, I would probably safely say it's in the hundreds. I mean, given the book, there's some women that I've never met. There's a young lady in Arkansas. I've never met her before. But we've been connected for some years now. That's a good question. Look,
I said it's loaded. Look, read between the lines, Coriya. Loaded.
That is an awesome question. Yeah, that's good. I need to know. Like I said, I would guess in the 100, but I'd like to know exactly how many women, and not just ones that have attended the event, but that have really followed through.
Right. Now, what about some pointers that you might have? Let's talk about this college age group, because I know they are young women, okay, and they need a lot of what you're offering.
Oh boy, yeah.
Okay, so how can we get them started in the right direction? Like, for instance, we have some that are coming straight out of high school. We have some that are already in college. We have some that are venturing out, getting ready. They're doing internships, getting ready for the workforce. So what do you suggest?
So for the college age students, one thing that I really stress is for them to write their own affirmation. And in my book, I have a formula for people to write their affirmation. And my affirmation, I'll just read mine to you. It's, Lord, if what I want for my life is not in your will for my life, let it vanish and give me peace about it.
Woo.
Let it vanish and give me peace about it.
Do you know how many times I prayed that? Listen.
And why is that so important though? Because we can, that college age, they're all about, the sparkle, the lights, the camera. And a lot of times we lean on these buzzwords and these affirmations from other people, Oprah, Yanla, and, whoever. It could be, someone their age, but they lean on those things. But to look on the mirror, and this is what I told a young lady not too long ago. She actually just graduated from college, but still in that age group. This is what I told her. I said, if you look on your mirror every day and you read whatever that affirmation is, and it's got your name at the end, what does that mean for you? And her face just lit up. And it's so easy. Like I said, there's a formula in the book, but just to break it down and to make it simple for the folks that are watching, it is an unselfish ask and a bold declaration. That's all you need to write your own affirmation. So my unselfish ask is, Lord, if what I want for my life is not in your will for my life. And then the bold declaration is, let it vanish and give me peace about it. Give me peace. Because sometimes, stuff need to go away that's no good for us, but then we want peace. Oh no, I want peace about it as well. So for the college age, I normally start there because I know when they can see that lights, camera, action type thing with their name on it, that means something for them.
Yes. Are y'all listening out there? Are you all listening to this? Goal digging. It starts with some decision making.
Yes.
Okay. You're going to have to make decisions, sound decisions. And I want to go a little further. You didn't talk about something else that you do, so I'm going to go ahead and mention it. Coriya is also a youth minister. Okay. And so she intertwines the word of God in what she's doing. I just want to point that out. And also that you cannot get to this goal digging without God. No. It's not going to work.
Absolutely.
Now, Coriya has been put on this earth to help you navigate, but you're not going to be able to get what you're supposed to do unless you go straight to the manufacturer.
Absolutely.
Do you agree, Coriya?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, when I looked at that board the first time and I thought to myself, now what if I took a step back? Even with Faith Board, which the event happens in January every year, but I start in December with groups of young women every weekend, encouraging them to pray or connecting them with prayer groups, because I told them, I don't even want to touch it. I don't even want to hear about your goals. We don't want to write down anything, cut out any pictures until you've had some time to spend with God. God, what is it that you would have me to do, right? Because you may be, and I always use Diddy as an example. You may be a P. Diddy and you really want to be an artist, but let's just be honest. Your gift is probably production or being the business or the brain behind everything.
Yes.
And it's not taking anything away from him as an artist, but Lord, what do you want me to do? How do you want me to, what role do you want me to play?
Yes. And see that, I'm glad you mentioned that, because although you may be able to do something, get it done by the skin of the hair of your chinny chin, your purpose might not be that.
There you go. Absolutely.
Okay. Yep. Now, I like to teach with examples, so I'm going to give an example. I know music. I do. But my purpose is not it's not music. It's not in the field of music was used as what can I say, a tool within my purpose. My purpose is to connect people. I already know that. And to connect ideas and concepts. Music was used to help me do that. Now, where did I get that from? God. Now, I could have thought, music, I went to college for music, so I'm going to get on stage, I'm going to sing, but I knew that was not why I got a music degree.
Wow.
The music degree was to help me in my purpose. And so you're going to have to know the difference.
Absolutely.
In order to move successfully in your purpose area, or you will get frustrated. You will get sidetracked because you'll be trying to do all these things.
Mm-hmm.
And then you neglect what God told you to do.
Yes. Yes. And the only way to do that is to spend time.
Spend time.
A long time with God and asking, Lord, what is it that you would have me to do? I know what I want to do, but are you willing, and I ask people this, are you willing to move yourself out of the way? Are you willing to get out of the way and do what it is that God would have you to do?
It takes some dying to the flesh to do it.
Yes, absolutely.
You have to listen. I have been there. I've been in college before where I'm like, why is everybody doing this and I'm doing this? And why am I feeling like this? And everybody's doing, because I was a music major. And when you're a music major, you're around all these musicians. And I'm talking about I was around the top musicians.
Wow.
But I never felt totally connected in there. And I didn't discover why until God told me why. So I plead with you as listeners, spend time with God. Get what he wants you to do. Your purpose is connected to everything.
Yes.
I just got to say it. It is, if you do not find it, you will feel like a wandering ship. Your purpose is connected to everything.
Absolutely.
Everything.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot go without it. And so I do want to say, if you need help, if you need help, say it. That's why you have Coriya here that can teach you how to do it in a systematic approach, a way. Once you get through with her, you can come to me. I got another leg of it. Once you get through with me, we got some other creators that got other legs of it.
Yes.
So, and it's just like a school process. You start in kindergarten, you move up to middle school, you move up to high school, and go on further to college. It is a process. Yes. Be patient with yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Extend yourself some grace.
Extend yourself some grace. That's it. Oh, I love it. I love it. Coriya, tell the people how they can connect with you.
All right. You can connect with me on all social media platforms at Just Coriya, JustCoriya. I also have a brand new brand called Go Travel Chick. It is on all platforms as well.
I like that too.
I had to separate the two. And that came from God. That came
Go Travel Chick.
From God. Yes. He said, separate. He said, stop posting the travel on your pages. And I said, well, Lord, that's part of who I am. It's what I do. He said, separate it. I didn't know why. I had no idea why. I won't tell all of it, but I will tell you 14 days from the date that I was obedient, God placed somebody in my life to bless me in that portion of my business. 14 days.
You see that? Obedience. Listen, I just got to stay right there for a minute.
Yes.
Obedience. When God tells you to move, you can't wait now.
Cannot wait.
You cannot wait. Move. The opportunity will pass.
Absolutely.
It will pass. Please believe that.
Yes.
I know there are people that tell you, oh, if it's for you, nobody can take it.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. I'm just going to be real with you. It can pass.
Yeah.
If you do not seize the moments.
Yes. I wouldn't have even recognized it. I'm gonna be honest. Had I not been obedient, I wouldn't have even recognized it for what it was. There's no way it would have been a casual conversation. Oh, hi, nice to meet you, and kept going. 14 days after me being obedient, I'm in a totally different country, across the world, and God connects me with this person. I would not even recognize this person for who they were supposed to be in my life had I not been obedient.
Listen, people, come on now. Listen. Oh, Lord, you were telling us about the book. Come on, Corey, keep telling them how they can.
Okay, so you can definitely follow me on all social media platforms, just Coriya, Go Travel Chick. And you can find my book, Pray, Plan, Execute, Fail-Proof Goals in 5 Easy Steps. This is available on Amazon, but it's also in my bio on all of my pages as well. And it's the step-by-step process on how to make sure that the goals you're setting for yourself are God goals and not just good goals.
We're not gold digging.
Yes.
We're gold digging.
There you go.
GOAL.
Yes.
Okay. Reach out to Coriya if you need help. And sometimes you might not know you need it. Sure. If you feel stagnant and you're not moving, something's blocking it. You might need a little push. Absolutely. So don't be afraid to ask for help. And like I say every week too, we have a group, the Connecting Point for Creators group, of which Coriya is a part of, and many other creators. That's a networking tool. If you want to network with other creators, you want to share your ideas, you want to get a little inspiration on a daily basis, send a request through Facebook for the Connecting Point for Creators group. Okay, we would love to have you because iron sharpens iron. And also this show airs on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. on YouTube, Instagram TV. We post it on Facebook. It's everywhere, Twitter, all the social media platforms. It's on Anchor, Spotify. It also will air on KBCN TV on Wednesdays. So you have no excuse not to tap in to a little inspiration. And we ask that you share it, like it, and share it so that others who may not have known about it can know about it. And then you will be spreading good news. All right. Coriya, thank you again. Thank you again for your time. I wish you blessings. And of course, on the young man. Yes. Our children are going to soar. They're going to soar.
Yes, they are. They are already on the way. They are going to soar. Yes, absolutely.
And so, peace and blessings, everybody. Until we